to go.
And this cypress is the same cypress as all the others. It's called Dwarf Cyprus. It's several hundred years old, even though they don't grow more than like 15 feet high, probably because underneath there is a limestone layer, which has probably prevented them from getting the proper nutrients they need to grow to their full size. So we have this whole bay of this dwarf cypress, and they made a nice little boardwalk here in Tate's Hill State Forest. Just a very unusual thing. You come here any season. In the spring, it's beautiful like this. In the fall, as the leaves are turning, it'll be rust-colored and orange. In the winter, no leaves at all. But just a very odd place.
So how old some of these trees are, you think?
Oh, a couple hundred years old. They've cored them. It looks like they're small, but they're 200-300 years old.
And it is it's not really a special species. It's just because of the...
It's because of the conditions. This bay probably has some type of structure underneath it with limestone close to the surface that prevents it from getting the roots down deep enough to get the nutrients they need. We came down here last time we were here. It was like a week or so early, a month or so earlier. The Audubon Society was here. And they were looking at a special little yellow bird that travels like from Canada to the Caribbean. And they stopped here, and there were dozens of these little yellow finch-like birds all in this area. And we had no idea of how significant they were, but the Audubon people were very excited. And I cannot remember the name of the yellow bird, except it was a yellow bird.
And what was the reason Tate even came in here? First.
Oh, Tate had a panther killing several of his livestock, so he went out one day with a gun to go kill the panther that had been killing his livestock, got turned around in here, drank some bad water, then got bit by a water moccasin, and then he staggered over to the beach near Carabel, and right before he died, he said to the people there, "I'm Seed Tate, and I've been to hell." And that's how it got the term Tate's Hell.
Oh. I should have got a picture of that black fly biting my finger just then.
You should have. I should have done that.
So, as far as you know, these trees have never been cut out. They're just the original.
Whatever happened to that little strip there, they probably just knocked them down. They probably were so small they didn't even bother with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, all this land over here had been logged out from the early 1900s to the 1970s or so, and then the state acquired it, made it a state forest, and started a whole bunch of reforestation and conservation. A lot of trails still here. Those old logging trails are still here. So just if you look at an aerial map that just crisscrosses the whole area, it's easy to get lost if you don't have a map here.
Which happened to Mr. Tate.
Yes.
Where was his farm located? North of here, or what?
I'm thinking it was closer over to Sumatra.
Yeah.
You know, on that end.
Which is on what river is that on?
That's closer to the Apalachicola. And he staggered over there to Carabel, which is on the beach. What's amazing is it's so quiet you can't hear anything. You drive a little bit further, and you go down this road, and you end up right on 98. You see the water, the sound. It's really pretty cool.
We're probably, what, 20 miles from Apalachicola?
About that, and maybe 5 miles from the Gulf.
Let's just be quiet a second and listen to this. It's good. Okay.
So you see how it's a pretty cool place, isn't it?
It is. I'm loving it. I'd hate to get lost in here.
Oh my goodness.
I apologize because I don't remember exactly what it was called, but there was some place where they just had some tool or they were pulling something that just...
Skidders.
Skidders. Is this a skidder place?
No, but it's the closest thing you'll see to it. I don't know what they did to, what their purpose was.
Swath.
Yeah, it looks like they were put in a road, maybe a logging road, and they just came through here and realized that it was deeper than they thought. Because, you know, it sort of peters out up here.
But it's nothing, I mean, it's not like there's trees growing there.
Now, this
Whatever
was...
happened here?
It was big.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, obviously from there
So
all
it'd
the
be
way
closest
through.
to,
Right.
this, I bet
That's
if you
it.
look from
That
the
road
viewpoint,
came to here
this
and
is what a
they
skidder
probably
would look
wanted
like
to-
as they're doing stuff. This
They
is the kind
probably
of
thought
damage
they'd
they would
connect
do.
to the other side and they'd just harvest whatever was in the road all the way across.
Yeah.
And then they decided, it's too expensive to put in a bridge there. You'll never be able to fill that with enough dirt.
Exactly.
Well, also, if this never grew any more than this,
They would want it.
they would go, I'll go rip something else up. It'll be, I'll make more money.
I'm willing to bet this was long after the state. It might have been just prior to the state park thing, because there's not any. I don't think I see any. There's not.
Well, look at the, okay, here, look at those trees growing over there. Now, those are about maybe 15, 20 years old, maybe?
This is recent. This whole swath through
Yeah.
here.
Well, yeah, in fact, this boardwalk has only been put in the last 10 years.
It
I don't
could
know the
have
history
been
of
that
it.
they tore this whole thing out to put the boardwalk across here, and we're thinking about going further with it. And they said, "No, this is good. Get them to the center."
Oh, yeah, but look how
Ran
it's
out of
curved,
money
too.
or whatever.
You know who knows? The State Park Service. Somebody in Tate State Forest Service has a file that nobody has read in 15 years that details all the reasons behind it. Yes.
There's some interesting.
Well, they haven't lost it since then.
Oh, nobody will notice.
$8,000 to spend that.